for NC Dot versus Paisti. NC Dot taking out the Balgorn and the Astarte. Paisti Syndicate banning the Barghest and the Fiend.
Ooh.
Now, with those bans, as fast as you can, our teams are taking the field now. Who do you pick in this match, Larrikin?
Northern Coalition.
NC Dot for me as well.
NC Dot. You're not worried? Or do you think they're banning out that Balgorn because do they not have a Balgorn flag that they might bring?
Paisti? No, I mean, banning the Balgorn, I think, is smart if they were trying to go with a Fiend play, maybe, because the Balgorn's really the only ship that threatens it. But Paisti walks around and bans the Fiend, which is what NC used. A DHB Wildcat flying for NC last weekend used to great effect. So it'll be interesting to see what we get to see in the field.
Well, we'll go to Garayan Wassenaar and Zarvox Terrell for this match 120 of Alliance Tournament 14, Paisti Syndicate versus Northern Coalition.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the second match of the last weekend of the Alliance Tournament 14 here again with Garayan. And we see Northern Coalition arrive on the field with a fairly standard setup with double Floon, Eos, Aniros, Svipul, Blackbird, Vengeance, and Vigil. And Paisti Syndicate.
Yeah, they're here with a setup that we haven't seen that much before. A Claymore, Scimitar, double Cerberus, double Orthrus, 2 Jackdaws, a Kitsune, and a Flycatcher. So something similar to something where we've seen with a lot of missile-heavy comps. And this is definitely a different flavor of it. I'm very curious to see how this goes.
The match has begun, and we're seeing Northern Coalition is warped in at about 30, except for the Logistics warping in at 50, and they're burning directly towards the side of Paisti. Tackle going on, no, not tackle, just disruptors going on to the 2 Orthruses of the Paisti Syndicate. Damage immediately being applied to the Aniros of NC, as you can...
Yes, going for a Logi kill shot there with all the missile DPS. So, but we're seeing a lot of missile disruptors on the field right now. Both the Fleet Foons are getting disrupted, and also both of the Orthruses.
So the Nero seems to be tanking fairly well. There's really not a lot of tackle, just a painter onto him. He seems to be tanking fairly fine. A quick tackle on Travis's Svipul there, but he seems to have burnt out of web range and is now doing just fine. Squishinator also tackled, but not a lot of damage incoming on either side. Either side, I mean...
Well, something else I'm also seeing here is that the Blackbirds both have jams being applied to them, and that's probably coming from that Kitsune. It's really important when you're doing jams that you get the jams off first, and that's what those little ships give you.
These, the side of Paisti really diving in and trying to get tackle. You see the Scimitar of, the Svipul of Travis is taking a little bit of damage, the Aniros, but really not enough damage to do any...
Well, something could be changing really bad for Paisti right now because their Scimitar is double webbed.
Hard tackled.
He's very hard tackled.
He is regular
dropping.
He's looted, nosed, but can he stay alive? Probably going to be XLAS. Does look like, in fact, he is XLASB fit, meaning that once he runs out of boosters, he's going to be in some serious trouble if they're able to maintain damage and tackle onto him.
Well, they're not going to be able to keep that tank for very long. I mean, the thing that's important with these missile comps is you got to kill something quick, as Chester said. But at this point, they've only been putting pressure on the shields of this armor comp that Northern Coalition's been...
the Scimitar has in fact gone down.
Scimitar's down.
All of that control, you can see that Scimitar was tackled so hard. They seem to have tackled a couple of other guys. The Kitsune's tackled. He should not be tackled. He should be doing his job from range.
Yes, so it looks like something got a hold of him, and he's probably going to go down real quick, just like that. And that's something I've seen many times as an EWAR pilot. As soon as something grabs a hold of you, it's lights out.
He was really sort of burning towards. He was right in the thick of the action there, that Kitsune. I'm not really sure.
Dangerous.
Very dangerous. It's not a tanky ship. He can do his job from range, and still we see NC taking just fine. Really just, if you look at the control on the side of Paisti, they are just not able to apply any damage. It seems the entire side of NC is staying well within 80% armor. No one is taking any substantial damage at all, partially because Paisti is not able to apply.
Yeah, they just came in, they pushed real hard, and but the tank of Northern Coalition setup was able to cope with it, and then they were able to push back, and then the Scimitar on Paisti's side just snapped over backwards when the same pressure was played.
The support wing, you can really tell here by the control bar, the support wing of NC is really doing some serious work. The Orthrus is now completely hard tackled, but don't seem to be focusing him down too much.
Yeah, and those Blackbirds are now free to apply their jams out of the Kitsune. Has been destroyed. As you can see, almost 3/4 of the Paisti team has jams being applied to it. Whether they're effective or not, I can't tell with this user interface, but it's definitely affecting things.
We're seeing now Jackdaw's down, Kitsune's down. Okay, so one Vigil loss for NC, but they're still in a very commanding position. with their logistics ships still on grid.
Well, we're looking at one of the Orthruses right now, and it's completely immobilized. You can see that Fleet Foon just sitting right on top of it.
He's been tackled for a while, but it seems as though they just wanted to focus the Jackdaw down to both of them were tackled, but they decided to switch to that Jackdaw, it being a lot easier to kill. But the Orthrus is in fact about to go down. It seems he might be XLASB fit as well, or maybe that's just shield reps. No, he is XLASB because the shield reps have just come onto him from drones, obviously, since their logistics is down. And that Orthrus is about to get pummeled, and he is in fact followed quickly by the Jackdaw. Almost the entire support wing of Paisti is now down without a single loss of NC. It looks to be a
vigil, anyways.
A fairly commanding lead.
Yeah, they've definitely got control of this fight. That initial thing that you have to do with these missile comps, as I said earlier, is you have to make it count, because you're not going to get a lot of chances to do it, especially with the rapid heavies, rapid lights. All of those rely on burst DPS, so it's going to come out in a real quick gout.
Got to get something done.
But if you don't do anything, you're just sitting there on reload, and that's 0 DPS.
That second Orth. I mean, you can all of the support wing of Paisti has been tackled hard by the support wing of Northern Coalition, and they're just working through them one at a time. Not a single ship apart from that Vigil of NC has gone anywhere below 80% armor.
Yeah, I mean, they're working on that last Orthrus right now. Reps are coming from something. Maybe I saw a shield rep from something earlier. I'm not sure from what, but right now, it's just there it goes.
Second Orthrus down.
Yeah, so right now we just have a Claymore, 2 Cerberuses, and a Flycatcher is all that's left for Paisti.
It's really all she wrote, because the core ships remaining on the side of Paisti, the 2 Cerberuses, are never going to be able to break through Northern Coalition.
Again, I'm seeing the Flycatcher getting reps from something, and I think that might be just from the drones. Okay, so that's probably what that's coming from.
He is very dead. It's just a matter of time now. They're going to mop up. The Claymore is tackled. The Cerberus is webbed, disrupted.
Yeah, Angel Wolf 99 is now their new target. Also, damage coming on Johnny Punisher. Looks like Johnny's taking the majority of the damage. So I'm moving over to him right now, and it looks like he is getting pummeled coming from the rear. He's running away from them as fast as he can towards the edge of the ring. It looks like he's going for an edge of glory.
So it seems as though the Cerberus is actually XLASB fit. So even though they have it's not going to make a difference. However, Cerberus now down. So
looks like he didn't make it. So I saw him take a quick turn at the edge, trying to see if he could get someone to follow him and boundary violate, but it looks like he couldn't get to the edge quick enough.
Pretty commanding victory, commanding lead. One Vigil loss, a 3-point loss for NC, cleaned up the entire team of Paisti, mopping up the final remnants. So that looks like the end of the line for Paisti Syndicate.
Yeah, the real question at this point is whether they're going to get all of them before. I mean, I'm pretty confident they're going to definitely get this next Cerberus down, Angel Wolf 99. The next question is how strong is the self-tank on this Claymore?
I mean, is it going to be XLAS? I mean, it really doesn't matter. NC completely devastating the side of Paisti Syndicate. That'll be NC moving on and Paisti out of this match, unless, of course, something insane happens.
No, I mean, you'd have to be throwing away the match at this point for it to change the outcome.
Happen.
I mean,
maybe the entire team will.
Things have happened.
Boundary, yeah, that's right. Double step.
It looks like that Claymore is getting a lot of damage thrown its way very rapidly.
There's nothing he can do. He's
going
scrammed.
into deep armor, and it's whatever self tank it's got. It's just not keeping up with the damage that's coming in. A Drake is sitting, a Fleet Foon is sitting right on top of it. It's Maw gobbling him whole.
And it's all over.
Yep.
Not a whole lot they can do here, unfortunately. But a pretty good run for Paisti Syndicate, making it all the way to the final weekend. You cannot be mad about that, losing to Northern Coalition, who have shown us some amazing performances so far. Can't be mad.
Nope. No, I mean, a very respectable performance by Paisti. So this last Cerberus is just all that's left. With 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, I'm pretty certain that they'll be able to get him down. He is currently webbed by, looks like a sweep pole, and let's see how long it takes for him to hold up. Let's see if they can run at least all the way to the 10 minutes.
I don't think so. I think he's going to go down. He is XLASB fit, I believe. He's still trying to apply a little bit of damage to that swivel, but there's no way he's going to break through the Aneros reps of this of Squishinator and Kralor on NC's side. They've got to be pretty happy with their performance so far. Cerberus is about to go down. He's webbed. He's not going anywhere.
Structure damage is bleeding through his shields, and he'll probably be down here in the next 10-15 seconds.
Squishinator locking him down. There we go.
So, Good showing by Paisti Syndicate. Northern Coalition is the victor here, and they will move on to their next match. So with that, we'll hand you back to the desk.
Phosphor is always getting a drink, to be honest. All right, so let's raise our glasses and do skull.
And NC Dot advances in Alliance Tournament 14 as Paisti Syndicate sits down. NC Dot showing just how powerful they can be here in this elimination bracket. They're going to go up against the Afterlife after the break, following the match between WeForm Volta and Exodus. Let's talk a little bit about that Exodus target calling, Chesser.
You mean not Exodus, NC.
I'm sorry, NC,
NC. So NC playing just beautifully here into this light missile comp. We've seen the light missile comp brought before by Tuskers against Afterlife, where they used it to just surgically pick apart the enemy team. And those light kite missile comps like that are really deadly because they can apply a ton of damage to a Logi ship, forcing it away, forcing it back out of their very, very long range, especially from Cerberus and Jackdaws in sniper mode. And what happens then is they can kite, because they're all cruiser-based ships, except for the battlecruiser providing links, they can kite out your entire gang. And if you send Zwippels or send Cruors or Hyenas out to kill them, your Logi is at such a far range away that it's in deep fall off for reps, and all the applied alpha and damage that light missile team can do, they can effectively kill off ships coming in, unless they're bigger ships, and kite continuously. That's how that fleet comp is designed to work, and you can see Tuskers fly it to a T before. It requires a lot of mechanical skill to be able to do it that way. But NC, I just want to shout this out at the beginning of the match. You may have not noticed it. They used their 2 missile guidance disruptors, and they threw them on the Orthrus only, which is extremely intelligent. Cerberus are basically locked into kinetic damage, and the Onieros, being a Tech 2 Galente ship, has extremely high kinetic resist, so it actually doesn't care too much that 2 Cerberus are shooting it. Orthrus, on the other hand, are not locked, and they can shoot any damage type. The second reason why it was super smart for them to only use missile disruption on the Orthrus was because their range is much, much shorter than that of the Cerberuses, so it is much more effective. And essentially what you saw was Paisti, knowing that they want to try and kill the Logi right away, shooting all of their RLMLs in it, the Orthrus probably not in range, and failing to kill it. And then their scimitar gets I saw it get grappled, and I couldn't see if a Fleet Foon got on top of it, but then it got hard tackled by a Zwippel. But for that to happen is a complete misplay by Paisti. They need to be pulling away and flying together in a ball around the arena, and any type of T3D that comes after them needs to be nuked by all of those light missile ships. You didn't see that happen. You saw their scimitar get captured, killed, and the entire rest of their team dismantled.
And we can see that here on the aftermatch synopsis screen. There's that team just totally grayed out. Only 1 loss on NC's side. That Vigil, who did his favor doing his job admirably, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But no damage coming out of Paisti.
Yeah, just look at those Orthruses. They were left alive very, very long, but because they were underneath those missile disruption, and because of their range being very short, look at the damage that one of those Orthruses put out. Only 5,000. That is less than a Jackdaw. And when you're paying 11 points for a pirate cruiser, only getting 5,000 damage out of it, less than a T3D of 6 points, is inexcusable. It's
Whoa,
bad.
5,000. Hold on. That's 20,000 coming out of either.
I'm sorry, I'm reading. I apologize.
That's what they're taking in.
That's only.
Or is that
man?
Yeah.
Damage done. I completely screwed it up. I'm sorry. I need to get my eyes checked.
Oh no, you're right. I'm wrong. It's 7,000 damage returned.
Okay.
My fault.
We got there in the end, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We're about to have match 122, 120B of the Alliance Tournament. Chesser versus Antiquarian in a battle to see who can squint more at the monitor screen.
Exactly.
It's gonna be you.
I mean, see, the sad thing is you're the one wearing glasses and I'm not, and
These
I'm
are
like
purely
sitting here-
cosmetic. I just
Purely
wear
cosmetic,
them
indeed.
for the fashion.
Indeed.
Okay, so some questions about that analysis. So king killer has been, it's like a term that's been thrown around to define a comp. What exactly defines a king killer comp?
So,
And was that it?
the light missile
Yeah.
composition. So there's a lot of different names for a lot of different compositions, and I don't like giving specific names to certain competition comps because some teams will call a composition something, and it will be different inherently in how the modules are laid out or what ships are brought. At the end of the day, you could call what Paisti was using as an LML spam, like kite comp. I just think it is a little bit more descriptive, and I just don't like using,
It's not as catchy though, is it?
It definitely sounds catchier for sure, but pretty soon we're gonna have people tuning in from Twitch, and someone's gonna be saying, "Oh, this is a Tinker versus like a Kingslayer comp," and people are gonna be like, "What?" and have no idea. So I'm trying to keep the buzzwords to a minimum, I guess.
Here on the AT, where we keep buzzwords to a minimum as we watch these ships take the field. Really.
I guess.
Was
Trying to
it-
make it as less.
Was it XLASB fit?
Trying to keep the jargon as low as humanly possible when commentating an EVE match.
If you're having any difficulty at all with the jargon here on the Alliance Tournament stream, or when you're watching these matches, you can tune into Moderator's videos, as a matter of fact, on YouTube. Moderator really breaks down a lot of the mechanics of the Alliance Tournament, the play that we see, and the stakes for the alliances involved. If you haven't checked out those videos at home and you're having any sort of trouble with Chesser's dense lingo, it's your first port of call. And of course, you can get in touch with Moderator, who's not joining us this morning, but will be on this afternoon. Get in touch with him through Twitter. That's @Moderator on Twitter. Send him a message. Let him know that he's doing a great job with his brand new XE file. Coming up, we have match 121. That's We Form Volta